Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on April the 24th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. All right, so overall, in terms of news, we saw PMI numbers came in below expectations here, as we had talked about yesterday. Now, the wild card here was the US numbers here, the PMI numbers out of US. We saw that these numbers actually beat expectations, and as a result of that, we saw this quick push up in the market. So equity markets went up, and as a result, all the yen crosses and dollar crosses went up as well. And then, of course, we saw that move basically disintegrated and everything came back down. So that there was something that wasn't expected in terms of the move up, but that's what we have now. Another thing here is the House has passed the 484 billion coronavirus relief bill, and now basically it's a done deal. President just has to sign it, and it is done. Other than that, coming up here, we do have CPI numbers here for Japan, and if these numbers are below expectations, that could have a negative impact on yen, so keep that in mind. Coming up on Friday here, we have retail sales numbers out of UK. They are expected to be negative. So today we saw that PMI numbers from UK came in negative, below expectations, not negative, sorry, below expectations. And there wasn't a big move in British pound because a lot of that was already priced in. So we'll see if this moves the market at all. Now, in terms of the business climate, German IFO business climate here, it is expected to be below expectations. And same thing here, we saw that PMI numbers, the below expectations PMI numbers did have a negative impact on euro. And another thing that's having a negative impact on euro right now is also the quantitative easing package or the stimulus package that EU is trying to put together here. Right now, they haven't really reached an agreement in regards to the size of the package, but overall, anytime there's a quantitative easing, there is negative impact on the currency, so just keep that in mind. Now, we do have core durable goods orders from the US here as well. There is expected to be a big drop in this, but if the number is bigger than this or the drop is larger than this, then again, same thing here for the US as well. We could see a negative impact on the US dollar. And of course, we have consumer sentiment numbers here as well. Again, there is a decrease that's expected, but any type of number that is too far from where the expectations are can move the market. So that's it in terms of the news here. So let's move on to our chart. As usual, we'll start off with euro dollar here. Yesterday, we were looking for a drop here. We did get that decline. Now, prices into our first target here, still looking quite bearish. So bias is still to the downside here. In terms of the pullback here, we do need to be careful. We could see a pullback all the way into this level of 1.08. Either 1.08 or even 1.0820 or 15 around that resistance level. So watch out for that. So for now, I will just leave it at 1.08, and then I am looking for a further decline here. So bias here is bearish. Target will be 1.0720 here, and then beyond that, should it go through that target, only then would I look for the next one, which is 1.0680. But this target, 1.0720, is the first target here. So bearish bias for euro dollar. Pound here, this hasn't done much. It did move up slightly, but as we can see, it's still holding below that resistance level here. It went right into 1.2420, and then it has held below that. So right now, bias is bearish here. Now, we can get a bit of a pullback, so watch out for that. But looking for price to come back down towards the support level here, 1.2250 is the first target, and only if it goes through that would I look for the next one, which is 1.2165. So bearish bias here for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one actually went up. So we saw that all commodities turned around, and as a result of that, all commodity currencies have also gone up. So this is looking bullish here, but keep in mind price is into resistance here. If it holds below 0.6400, then we could see it move back into the range. And as we can see, price is traded in a range the entire week here. So if it holds below 0.6400, I'm looking for price to move back down. However, once it clears that, then next target here is 0.6450 and then potentially 0.6500. So right now bias is bullish, but I would be watching the resistance level here at 0.6400 very closely to see if it actually breaks through that or not. So bullish bias with caution here though. New Zealand dollar, same thing here. We did have a nice pin bar here and we saw that initial drop, but price turned around right into the support level here. And we have a bullish candle close. But what we see here is a downtrend line. So price is making lower highs here. And in this case, as long as it stays below this trend line, we could still see a drop. So I would keep an eye on that. At this point, my bias is neutral on New Zealand dollar. So I would look for a retest of the high, which is 0.6040, and if it holds below, then we could see price come back down towards 0.5920. So right now my bias is neutral. Now, should it go through this resistance level, just like we talked about in Australian dollar, this one could go up higher as well. So we do have to keep an eye on the resistance level, because once it breaks, there is a lot of room to the upside here. Next target would be 0.6100, and then it could even go all the way into 0.6130. For now though, I'm going to look for a move back down here. So neutral bias for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, this one dropped. We saw that oil price actually went higher. So oil went up, copper went up, and as a result of that, we have seen the commodity currencies go up, and gold and silver went up as well. Now with this one here, this one does look bearish. As we can see though, price has held above the support level. So if it holds above the support level again, we could see a reversal. So keep that in mind. It could go back up. However, once it breaks through that, next target here is 1.3945 level. And below that, we are looking at 1.3880. So bias is bearish. However, keep an eye on the support level at 1.45. If it doesn't break that to the downside, I'm looking for a reversal. For now though, bearish bias for dollar CAD. Let's move on to commodities here. Silver. Silver, as we can see, has gone up today, but it is still holding below this resistance level of 15.50. So today's candle close is neutral. We do have bullishness, but there's a big pin on the top as well. So neutral bias here. What I'm looking for is we could get a potential retest of the high. So look out for that. So we could see something like this. And if it holds below this resistance level here, this is where price has struggled previously. So if it holds below that, we are likely to see the price come back down. So right now bias is neutral, but if it manages to get through this, then I would be looking at 15.80 and then potentially higher as well. For now though, this is neutral. I'm going to watch 15.50, and as long as it's below that or holds below that, looking for price to drop. So neutral bias here for silver. Gold here, gold has done very well. Yesterday's candle was quite bullish. It was into resistance, but it's blown through that. It's still looking strong, so we could see it go up further into 1747, 1750 level. But this is, again, strong resistance, so do keep this in mind. We could see a reversal here at the high, so watch out for that. But bias for now is bullish for gold. Oil here, oil has recovered, or it is recovering. It went up today. Now, still looking bullish here. Next target is 20.80, and that's where we could see a turnaround. So something like this, which is the support level here from before. So the support can turn into resistance. So do keep an eye on that. For now, it's looking bullish. If it struggles with today's high, though, then it can reverse from there. So it has to clear today's high for that pullback to continue. So bullish bias, 20.80 is the next target. Copper here, copper actually went up yesterday. Today's candle close it still has bullishness in it, but there's a large wick on top, which suggests that price was rejecting the high. So we could see it struggle again. So right now, bias is neutral. I would look for a retest of 2.30. And if it goes through that, we're looking at 2.31. So bullish to neutral bias here for copper. Bitcoin here. Bitcoin did quite well here. It has finally broken through this resistance that it has struggled with for quite some time. So right now, bias is bullish here for Bitcoin. First target would be today's high, which is 77.30. And then above that, we're looking at 8,000. So bullish bias here. Now, for this to continue, we need to see a hold above 73.80, and if it does that, I'm looking for a further move higher here. Watch out for a deeper pullback into 7,200, and if we see this, and if it holds above this level, it could go higher. For now, the first, I'm going to look for a shallower pullback into 73.80, and if it holds above, I'd be looking for a further move higher. Bias is bullish for Bitcoin, though. Our equities here, equities were interesting. We saw, we had the PMI numbers come out of the US, and on the PMI numbers, we saw markets jumped up. Now though, we have a pin bar here. It didn't manage to close in the positive. So if you take a look here, we see that it did jump up and then came into this resistance level here. This is where price struggled previously, and it just reversed from there. So right now we have a pin bar, so I'm looking for price to drop back down towards this 27.20 level. So bearish bias here, and this is the target. So first target, and if it goes below that, we could see this move back down towards 26. So second target here would be 26.80. So 27.20 and then 26.80 are the two targets. So bearish bias here for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, this one as well, we have a bearish pin bar. If you take a look at the hourly here, again, it went up into the resistance level right here. This is where prices struggled previously into our R1 level from pivot points, but then it dropped from there. So bearish pin bar here. So looking for price to drop. First target is 84.80 and then 83.60 here. So bearish bias for Nasdaq as well. Dow Jones, same thing here for Dow Jones as well. We saw this initial move higher, and then that move was basically unwound, and now we have a doji here. So bearish bias again, first target is 22,950, so about 23,000, and second target is 22,370. So bearish bias here for Dow Jones as well. DAX here, we see the same thing. Price went up and then it came back down right from the resistance. So this one's looking bearish here as well. Next target is 10,200. So that's the bottom of this range that it's been trading in. So that's our first target, and only if it goes through that. Next target is, well, just below 10,000, so 10,080. So bearish bias here for DAX as well. FTSE here, same thing. It went into this resistance level and it rejected that. So now I'm looking for a move lower here. First target is 5,700, and then 5,585 is the second target. So FTSE is bearish here. And last, we have Nikkei. Nikkei is still stuck in this range. It's been going back and forth. We did see a drop yesterday, and then it turned around into a bullish pin bar, and now we have a bearish pin bar here. So bias is bearish. First target is the bottom of the range here, back into the support level. This is where it struggled previously, so watch out for that. Our target here is 19,000 is the first target, and second target here is 18,780. So bearish bias here for Nikkei as well. And that's it for today. Have a great trading day tomorrow, and I will see you again on the weekend for our weekly analysis. Bye for now.